He's Rich Eisen, NFL Network host and host of The Rich Eisen Show. He joins us on the program. Good morning, Rich. How are you?
DP, how are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. Now, do you want to start with the Michigan conversation?
See, now deep down, you're a Buckeye, Dan. Deep down, if you strip it down,
That is true.
I understand you've got the gritty veneer of journalism. I understand. But deep down, strip it all down.
Yeah.
That's a scarlet and gray heart that beats in that chest, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, really deep down, yes.
No, I understand, but it's still there. I mean, it's still there. I mean, I understand, like I said, you've lacquered on many layers of coverage, lead-ins, highlights, scores, interviews, hard-hitting interviews, journalism.
Yeah.
But deep down, we're not in the press box here. We're in your living room.
There is no cheering.
Michigan, Ohio State,
yeah.
Or Michigan against somebody else, not even Ohio State. You still beat that heart for the Scarlet and Gray, right?
What would it take for you to admit you need to make a change?
A lot of alcohol, Dan. A lot of alcohol.
Okay, so you're going down with Harbaugh no matter what.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. The guy hasn't forgotten how to coach. He hasn't forgotten how to recruit. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea what's happening.
They don't have a great quarterback.
That's true.
You need a pro-style. Look at Ohio State. They've got Haskins in the NFL, and Fields is going to end up in the NFL as well.
Yeah.
Michigan has got Shea Patterson.
Fields comes from Georgia. He plays 3 games, and he's already Ohio State. I mean, look, here's the deal.
Okay.
Michigan does not have the quarterback. The line play has been just substandard. It was surprising, to say the least, as was the preparation coming out of a bye week. That was a shocking loss, a disappointing loss, a gutting loss. Wisconsin fans deserve to have all the smack talk in Michigan's direction. They deserve it. There's no retort. I'm retortless. There's nothing to be said except that if Michigan does plant its foot and use it as a pivot point and get better play, much better play from everybody, especially the quarterback position, they could still, win their side of the Big Ten and have a shot at avenging themselves against Wisconsin. But that's a pipe dream right now. There's just no other way to describe that based on the performance they just had.
All right.
How's that?
That's fine. I mean,
And you know what? It was such a blowout, Dan. It was such a blowout. I did not receive a text from the back row telling me how close the game was.
Odd.
See, now, let me just describe this scene for your listenership, because I went down this road on my show, a deep dive on this on my program. And I also sent you the whistleblower report, Dan, in real time that you did. I don't know if you passed along to your listenership. But I'm sitting there at my kid's soccer game following along the Michigan Army exploits on my phone, which was down to about 1% to 2% of battery. And I had a couple of friends of mine, because it was difficult to reload the app that I was following on. I'm like, hey, text me some updates, will you please? And a phone buzzes just as I had just gotten a text that the kid was about to kick the field goal for Army to maybe win it in regulation. And it's Todd Fritz saying something along the lines of Titan, the big house. And I'm like, what do I do with that? What do I do with that, Dan?
I know.
So I say to you, what do I do with that? What happened?
You know what you do? You just brush it off. You don't let somebody say you don't let somebody say that you're overrated as hell or something like that. You just move on.
Here's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep it in my back pocket. There's going to come a time when the Broncos are relevant again. And there's going to come a time when the Broncos are relevant again, and they're losing to an opponent they're supposed to beat, and it's going to be tight and mile high. And I might already have that text saved in my back.
Speaking of overrated, the Rex Ryan comment with Baker Mayfield, and I played this a couple of times, and I said, well, Rex is doing what you want now. It's a hot take, and you have a bulletin board material to say Baker Mayfield's overrated as hell. The subtext, like what he was saying, I thought he was actually saying some things that were accurate about Baker Mayfield. How did you take that whole exchange?
you know what? It's interesting because I try not to look. We've had many people have great broadcasting careers after, for instance, say not speaking to the media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't sometimes color a person's analysis based on what they did in their career. Until certain occasions, as a Jet fan, loved Rex making the team relevant right off the bat, almost taking them to the Super Bowl. But it's an interesting message, maybe a correct message, just a very wrong messenger. I mean, somebody talking about being overrated or writing checks with their actions that their play doesn't cash. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that's missing is Mayfield saying that he wasn't going to kiss Roethlisberger's rings, right? I mean, that's the only thing that's missing here. So it was difficult for me to swallow from the messenger to actually hear the message.
Okay. No, that's fair. I just thought that Rex, I think everybody's reaction was similar to yours. Like, well, who's Rex Ryan to be talking about anything that has to do with offense?
Right. I mean, but I mean, you talk to anybody who played for Rex on the defensive side of the ball, and they'll talk about his diamond-like mind in terms of getting quarterbacks off the spot. Knowing quarterbacks' weaknesses. So I'm not going to just throw it all out the window. But obviously this is raised to another level because Mayfield responds to it.
I know.
And the number of times that he hears what people say and responds to it and goes ahead and elevates it, it just makes no sense to me.
Yep.
It makes no sense to me. Maybe it's because he's saying I'm puffing my chest out and showing the trolls that it doesn't bother me, but the trolls actually love being heard and having it acknowledged by the person they're calling out.
Yeah.
It's you're feeding it as opposed to trying to address it.
I'm right there with you. If I'm Baker, just shut up, just play. But they can't. Freddie Kitchens, hey, write whatever you want to write. Blame me, but no, you don't have to feed the media here. Just go out and do your job. Coach this team.
Freddie Kitchens has only a couple. The write what you want to write card, the I can take it card, can be played by a coach, and I think he played it at an appropriate time. The problem is when you play it and then the results don't change, you can't play that card again. It might be helpful though for him to communicate right off the bat to his locker room that I'm willing to take the heat for stuff that we all know in film session you should be taking the heat for. That might be helpful. We'll see what happens against the Ravens.
Yeah, I understand that. McLovin dropped this bomb in the first hour of the show.
Okay.
Is Aaron Rodgers still a top 5 quarterback?
Oh, my word.
Numbers don't lie, Rich. Numbers don't lie.
Is your fantasy team 0-3 with A-Rod? Is that what happened?
And then he goes,
overdraft him?
He goes, these Packer fans, man, they're piling on. They're coming after me. I go, you just ask if Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback.
Well, in terms of his statistics, he is not in the top 5 statistically. But once somebody breaks the huddle in the crucible of a game and looks over the defense and figures out what to do pre-snap, and then post-snap it breaks down and figure out what to do then, and take the frying pan out of the fire and actually hit the defense over the head with it, I'd say he's top 5.
Yeah, there's no discussion on this, but we were.
Oh, wait a minute. I get it. No, though, Dan, the system isn't performing well yet. So,
McLovin, do you want to respond to Rich about your
system?
No, because I used to think that all quarterbacks could play well under Jim Harbaugh, so that proved that the system doesn't work.
Wow.
Oh, God. Did I just get owned by Ivy League football? Did that just happen? Or an attempt?
Back row versus Rich Eisen. It's a great media beef going on right now.
No. You just need to text me that at the very end of a close game. That's what you got to do.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Is this
control your people?
Oh, it's too far. We're too far down that road there. I'll leave you with this. Is this a must-win for the Eagles tonight?
Ooh, to win the division, I will say that yes. You want to win this division. I do not see I do not see the Cowboys losing 5. I see the Cowboys better than 11-5. I see them 12-4. I even see them 13-3, if even better.
Yeah.
So 3 losses to win this division is feasible, and you best not do that in your first 4. But to make the playoffs as a wild card team, I'm not saying that's must-win for the Eagles tonight, but this division appears to be Dallas's, and certainly if they lose Week 4, their 3rd loss, that would be a tough one.
Who's on the program coming up starting at noon?
I got Tony Baselli, who's on the game, who's doing the game for Westwood One, and I can't wait to talk to him about that rare baby back flu thing that Jalen Ramsey's got going on in Jacksonville. That's what we call a rare triple Lindy right there. The wrestler Cody Rhodes and the comedian Gary Owen, and obviously phone calls and more.
Thank you, Bud. Hey, great to talk to you. Thank you.
You got it, Bud.
That's Rich Eisen, NFL Network host and host of the Rich Eisen Show.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.